So you're going to have a minute to introduce yourself and the position you're running for. In your response, try to talk about what is your platform and why you want to run.
Sure. Good afternoon, actually good evening. My name is Isa Kamal, and I'm running for the Vice President of Diversity and Inclusion for USG. I'm a sophomore here at Case Western. I'm studying mechanical and aerospace engineering, and I'm on the pre-law track. I was actually really drawn to this position because I think in the past year there's been a lot of not even in the last year, in the last 10 years, there's been a lot of polarization. And I think it's very important to bridge that gap. And I think running as VP of D&I, I think I have the ability to do that within our college community. The few main things that I'll be doing next year is to encourage collaboration with UDC and other student boards. I really want to bring the Justice for Palestine group back because I think every student should have a voice and no one should have to be silenced. Every student has the right to have a voice. I'm also working on the Period Initiative, and I plan to continue that next year as well.
Thank you. And then these questions, your responses will be around 45 seconds max. Okay, ready for your first question? Okay. Diversity and inclusion often involves challenging conversations and confronting uncomfortable truths. How will you facilitate these discussions among students and staff in a constructive way?
The beautiful nature of undergraduate student government is that we have the administration to talk to, and then we become liaisons between the administration and students. As VP of D&I, I think I'll be able to encourage this dialogue, create spaces, and encourage clubs that have these kind of conversations, and highlighting those conversations and bringing them to light, and sharing them with the rest of the community. I will partner with the Vice President of Communications and share with them what clubs are doing, what kinds of conversations they're having, to stimulate this uncomfortable dialogue. To create a more coherent environment, you have to be a little bit uncomfortable.
Last school year, there were discussions to scrap USG's D&I committee, with some saying that the committee is usually understaffed, but ultimately the decision was made to keep them. What do you think is the unique role of USG's D&I that makes it a necessity to keep, and in what ways should D&I be promoted through USG and the university as a whole?
Diversity goes beyond. I think people think of it as a very small or very specific thing. Diversity is so broad, and so diversity on especially Case's campus, I think it's important to highlight. It's student government is like a representation of the students on the campus, and if we don't have a diversity and inclusion committee, then we're missing a huge chunk of students, and that's not fair. That's not right. So I think that's one of the key things that the D&I committee that's what it's needed for. And also, I think to make it bigger, we can take smaller subcommittees from student life and bring them to D&I.
Each year, undergraduates, graduate students, faculty, and staff undergo Diversity 360 training. What are your overall thoughts on the program, and how can it be improved to better equip our campus with diversity tools?
I think Diversity 360 is fair. It's okay. I think we can make it better. I think diversity is not limited to just people of color. There's also neurodivergence, and sexual orientation, and people who have all different backgrounds. That's also diversity, and I think recognizing that is very important. I don't think Diversity 360 does a very good job of it. So working with administration, one of my other goals is to improve Diversity 360 and to ensure that we do something like it every year.
Last question, why are you a stronger choice for this role compared to your competitors?
So in the past year, I've worked on the Student Life Committee. I've worked with the Office of Equity, so I'm pretty familiar with Rachel Lutner, the Title IX coordinator, and we've worked together on numerous projects. We've had conversations about the Period Initiative, which is to get menstrual products in all bathrooms around campus. We received letters of endorsement from the Mather Center and the LGBT Center and the Office of Equity. And the goal there is to increase menstrual equity. It's also to destigmatize menstruation, which is something that I think we need to do globally. I also worked with Disability Resources this past year and to try and improve the system that they have, and I hope to continue doing that next year.